Hi guys, welcome to the second to last edition of my makeup declutter series. It's my blushes. This is probably, aside from my eyeshadows and my lip products, one of the biggest things that I own and that I love, and I feel like I collect more than anything. I have a ton of palettes, ton of singles, so let's just jump right in. There's a few that are right off the bat I know not my taste, and there's some that I know I'm going to keep. So the first two are these Wet n Wild Color Icon little individual blushes. I have one in the color Rose Champagne and Pearlescent Pink. Now the Rose Champagne is a beautiful neutral, and you're going to notice the theme with all of my blushes. I am obsessed with neutrals, like ones that you can throw on that look like next to nothing, but you can't tell. I'm going to take off my watch for this because I know I'm going to have swatches all up and down my arm, but you don't mind the tan lines either. You can tell that you're wearing blush, but it's nothing super significant, that it doesn't look overloaded. So I'm oh man, I just dug into it. I'm definitely keeping this one because it's a beautiful blush and I know I'll wear it. This one in Pearlescent Pink is also a beautiful blush. It definitely is. I'm just not that into the like pinky corals anymore. I don't really wear those. They don't really match my skin tone. I feel like this is made for somebody with a little bit more olive skin tone. I'm just not into it, so I'm going to get rid of that one. Okay, so then now let's look at ColourPop. See a trend? I always have like one of each color. This one is in Hysterical. These are the Super Shock Cheeks. Now in general, I'm not really a huge fan of this formula. I got rid of a bunch of my eyeshadows because I'm just not a huge fan. So even though this is a beautiful color and I really like it, I think I'm actually just going to get rid of it because I don't like the formula. This one is in Tongue Tied. Same idea. It's just like, I don't really like the formula, and the color is so vibrant and I can't even get enough to like make it pigmented. So see ya, ColourPop, sorry. This one from Butter Bronzer. No, it's a Physicians Formula Butter Blush in the color Plum Rose. It looks like nothing. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. So good. It looks like nothing, but it's seriously the most beautiful blush. Very, very pretty. It's super light. Like in the summertime, even though the smell reminds me of summer, in the summer I almost can't wear it because I'm a little too dark, but in the winter it's such a pretty blush. I'm definitely keeping that one. I have two NYX blushes, kind of the same idea, one lighter, one darker. This one is an Angel. This is the same idea as the Butter Blush. It's super, super light, pale pink. You can see there, they're very similar in color. This one's a little bit more pink than this one. Very beautiful. Again, one of those blushes you can just kind of throw on and go. I'm going to keep that one. This one is in Mocha, and this is also just a NYX blush. This is a beautiful blush as well. A lot more on the dark side. I want to compare this to a couple others that I have because I prefer the formula of some of the other ones. I like this color, but I think I have one in a different format that I'm going to try. So this is going to go in my maybe pile. Okay, I have a Makeup Geek blush in XOXO. This is kind of like a pinky coral. I just don't think I like that much anymore. I much more go towards the natural blushes and the like mauve-y colors, not necessarily these pinky corals. Although I do really like the formula. I do like the formula, but if I have something similar, so this is going to go in the maybe pile as well. Bobbi Brown blush in Desert Rose. Such a beautiful neutral color. I kind of pair it with these ones down here. It's somewhere in between, not as pink, not as neutral. Super beautiful blush. Definitely not going anywhere. I love that guy. The Balm's Frat Boy. This is what the packaging looks like. Super cute. I kind of have gone away from the Balm. Their products are super powdery. You can kind of see just from swatching it there. Very pretty blush. It almost is in the neutral family over here. Let's see. But it's more on the coral side. You can see there it definitely is on the coral side. So, you know, I think I'm going to part with that one. I have a NARS single blush in Deep Throat. And I really liked this one, but now when I wear it, I almost feel like I can't get much payoff. Let's see. It's a very beautiful sheen blush. I think I'm just going to keep it just for the simple fact that I don't really have a lot of sheen blushes, and if I find something similar, I'll maybe part with him. This Tarte blush is in Pinky Bronze. Steph gave me this, and I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. I think it's just a touch too dark for me. Yeah, like this would be very pretty on a deeper skin tone. I just don't think it's made for my skin tone, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one. I have one Milani blush. This one is in Bella Rosa. And honestly, again, I think I'm just kind of like these super deep dark blushes that you have to work so hard at blending and making sure you don't look like a clown. I just can't really do it anymore. See you later, Milani. Two of these Milani powder blushes. I got these because I love the packaging. They're so pretty. This one is in Awakening Rose, and they're super soft and just really pretty. That one is a beautiful like peachy nude color. I think this is the type of peachy color that I'm looking for, not like the coral peachy. So I think I'm going to go ahead and keep that one. I don't have anything similar. This one is an American Beauty Rose. And let's see what this one looks like. Autumn's downstairs playing with Emmy. This one is like a really pretty pinky mauve. Let's see, do I have anything similar? Not so far, so I'm going to put this in the keep pile. We'll see if I have anything similar. Two e.l.f. blushes, the pressed mineral blushes. These look very similar to me. This one is in Jet Setter. And I actually really like these blushes. I feel like they're very well made. Do I have something similar? What is this one? This looks similar. I think it may be Bobbi Brown. I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the e.l.f. one because I have something obviously somewhere in here that fits the description of it. And this one is in Wanderlust, and it's like a darker berry, like mauve color. I should have kept these in the right order. What did I just watch? That was so similar to that. I probably will, you know what, let me compare this to the next blush to get an idea. This is the Balms in Stain, and this one is in Houndstooth. No, Pinstripe. I must have got rid of Houndstooth. But it's a darker mauve-y color. Oh, that's totally different. Okay, well, I'm definitely going to get rid of this one because I will not wear something like that anymore in comparison. And I think I'm going to go ahead and keep the e.l.f. in Wanderlust, which makes me feel like it's totally different. Where's this one? I don't know why. I'm just going to get rid of this. I'm just going to get rid of the Makeup Geek. It just made me kind of decide. And then the next blush, see, that's totally different. That's like a reddish color. I think I'm going to get rid of the NYX blush as well. Alright, moving along. Okay, a couple more individual blushes here. I have the Clinique Cheek Pop Blush Pop in number 14, Heather Pop. And I got this because it was kind of one of those ones, was the same like color family as something that I just watched. I think it was maybe the In-Stain blush. But let me see, is it similar to any of these? It's not even close to that. It's kind of on its own little spectrum there. I'm going to put this in the maybe pile because the shimmer, I'm just not sure about the shimmer. I have a Coastal Scents Forever blush in Charming, which is, looks like that. Obviously has a lot of dust. Let's go ahead and swatch this baby. That's a pretty, I feel like I just swatched something similar to that. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one because I don't have anything similar to that. Yeah, I'm going to keep that one. I have a Cargo blush in, there's a beach blush in Echo Beach. I think I got this in a Boxy Charm. And I used to have this in like a little tiny guy. That's what the blushes look like individually. They're very pretty. Let's see, swirled around, what they look like. It's a really pretty peachy color. I could definitely see myself wearing this, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it. And then the last individual blush I have is a box blush from Benefit in Hervana. And I think I'm going to keep this. It is a really pretty, it's just so light. I've been contemplating getting rid of this one for a long time. It's right there. It's very light. I'm going to see if I have anything in comparison to it, because I feel like one of these other lighter blushes are going to be, yeah, like look at that. That's just a touch lighter. Let's check out this Bobbi Brown one. And that's just a touch darker. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get rid of, what do I want to get rid of? I'm going to get rid of Hervana. That just breaks my heart to say. Actually, I'm going to keep Hervana and get rid of NYX. I'm going to get rid of the NYX one. Yeah. I've had this one quite a while anyway. NYX Sia. And do I want to keep this? Do I want to? Do I want to? Do I want to? I'm going to still see if I have something similar to that. Okay, now on to palettes and depotted blushes. So this is one of those thicker Z palettes. I have a couple of MAC blushes that I regret depotting. This is like the Rose Quartz or something. It's a really pretty blush on the outside, but nothing really to write home about, with like a little shimmer thing on the inside. This is Petticoat, which again I totally regret depotting, but it's like a very pretty shimmery color. And then this is Dainty that I just wore the other day. So I'm not going to get rid of those two. I kind of wish I could get rid of that, but I don't really have, it's not like I have a lot of room for it or any, I mean, I don't have anything to go in there. Same thing kind of with these blushes. Bella Bamba, Sugar Bomb, oh, Rockateur, and Coralista and Dandelion. I don't pull for these blushes hardly at all. So to be honest, I probably could get rid of this entire palette and never miss it. And you know, I may just sell it as a whole. I may just sell it as a whole. Let me set this aside. This will be in the maybe pile and see. This is my NARS Danmari palette. I'm not going to be getting rid of this. Besides it being limited edition, I do really like this blush. What I think is Sin. Yeah, Sin, which I totally could buy on its own. But I do like the fact that it has Orgasm, Super Orgasm. This pink one I don't use very often. I think it's Desire. This is a little too dark for me, and this is a little too like flaky for me. But I do like Sin. So instead of selling the palette and just buying Sin, I just keep the whole palette just because. And then like I said, it is limited edition. Okay, next up is my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush Palette with Luminous Flush, Incandescent, Electra, and Mood Exposure. And to be honest, the only color I really like in here is Mood Exposure. These two, again, are a little just too light for me. This is like a corally light color and a pinky light color. Neither one of them really do much for me, but I do like Mood Exposure. And I wish, honestly, I had just bought Mood Exposure. But because I didn't, you could probably hear Autumn talking to herself downstairs. But because I did not, I'm just going to keep the whole palette because there's no sense in selling it just to buy Mood Exposure. Okay, I have an e.l.f. blush palette. This one is in the color Dark. I feel like I had light somewhere, but I don't know what happened to it. So there is the color Dark. I would probably not use these two colors. Just being honest, they're pretty dark. I feel like I have this color somewhere. Let's see. Let's see how it compares. That one doesn't really compare in this bright one. You know, I honestly just think I'm going to get rid of this. I think these are just a little too dark for me. They're really pretty, and I think for darker skin tones they would be gorgeous, but I think they're just a little too dark for me. So I'm going to pass on that one. And then I have two of these blush bronzer mini palettes from Coastal Scents. And again, it kind of has that like same dark red color that I was really into at one point, but now I just kind of feel like it's a little too dark for me. And then it has this like peachy pink color with some shimmer, and I will never, it's not even shimmer, it's glitter. I will never wear that. So because I don't like the blushes, the bronzers can kind of go as well. I'm going to get rid of both of these. Okay, next, NARS Stephen Klein palette. Oh. The only things I like, I do like the contour palette, the contour part of the palette, which is Paloma, and I like Laguna. I do like that part. Of the blushes, the only one I can tolerate is this one, but none of them really give me that much payoff that I feel like it's worth it to keep. Yeah, like I just really, no, like these three blushes, no. This one I can tolerate. What is that one? Under Laguna. Dolce Vita. Again, you can buy that one individually. And you can buy this individually and you can buy this individually. So I'm kind of like, I would never travel with this just for the bronzer and the contour and highlight. I would travel with something different because I don't like the blushes enough to travel with. So, you know what? I think I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, that was hard. I'm moving on. I have another Z palette with some Tarte blushes that I depotted. I have a Hoola bronzer in there that I am going to keep. And then, oops, I also have a Gotta Glow little highlight from e.l.f. a long time ago. Man, I don't even know. It's a really pretty gold color. And then I have some Tarte blushes. So of the Tarte blushes, I wonder if I could combine these because this blush I really don't like. This one's Glisten. It is very, very like shimmery, glittery. Again, I'm just like not into that anymore. So I think I'm going to pass this one on. Same thing with this. It's like super bubblegum pink and Amused. And there's a reason that these are like very barely used because I just don't, oh, this is the wrong pile. I just don't use them. This one, however, you can see the river's gone. This is exposed. I am going to keep that. And actually, I think I'm going to get rid of this Gotta Glow because I don't love the fact that it's in here without my other highlights. It's just kind of inconvenient. Let's see. This one is Glistening Bride. No, Blushing Bride. Hello. Learn how to read, Melissa. This one is very pretty, but the gold glitter, I just can't do it. I am too old for all of that. And then this one, Doll Face. I think this is about as bright pink as I will go. And I'm pretty sure I have something elsewhere that matches that a little bit better, so I'm going to get rid of it too. This is kind of like a bronzer-ish color. It's actually really pretty. Stellar. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that one. And then this one, yeah, I'm going to get rid of that one too. Okay, so now that I have this, I can actually go through this and put the ones that I want to keep over here. So from here, I think I want to keep Bella Bamba. Besides, I had heard a lot of people say that these were not the same formulation, like the holiday palette was not the same formulation. I don't even know that I want to keep Bella Bamba. Let's see. Sugar Bomb. As like the normal box blushes. Sugar Bomb. Rockateur. Okay, I'm going to keep Rockateur. Dandelion I think is super pale. Yeah, I'm going to skip Dandelion. I'm thinking I'm going to keep Dainty from MAC. I'm going to get rid of these two. Dandelion. I'm going to keep Bella Bamba. Bella Bamba. Sugar Bomb. Rockateur. Maybe I'll put it up here. Rockateur. And do I want to keep Coralista? Nah. Nah. I guess I'll keep Dollface since that's the one that I use the most. I'll keep Dollface. Now I'm going to get rid of this whole Z palette. And just keep this. Okay, two more. I have this large blush and bronzer palette from Coastal Scents that very much reminds me of a Too Faced palette, and honestly I could probably get rid of a few of the things that I kept if I keep this palette. So let's take a look here. This blush kind of reminds me of, oh, and it's pretty. Very pretty. Okay, it kind of reminds me of this blush from Coastal Scents. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're very, look at that, similar. Okay, so I'm going to keep the palette and I'm going to get rid of this blush. This is the bronzer, this is the highlight, so I'm not going to worry about that. This blush kind of reminds me of the e.l.f. one I'm keeping. Let's see if they're similar. Not really. They're two different tones. This peachy one, see, I'm not keeping really much that looks like that peachy one. So, yeah, this is totally different. Kind of feel like, do I want to keep this? Probably would never wear that. Honestly, I probably won't wear half of what's in here. So instead of trading this for this, I like the concept of this, but this is hard to travel with. So I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm actually going to keep that blush that I was going to get rid of. And then the very last thing that I have is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Surreal Palette. I cannot speak, I swear. This I'm going to go ahead and keep. It's pretty new to me. Honestly, I didn't have to have this. I like the ambient lighting palettes in general. I love them actually. But these three blushes, like, let's see, the three blushes, no, it's two blushes. Surreal Glow and Surreal Effect. So this is Glow and this is Effect. And to be honest, like this blush, I don't even know that I would ever use that blush. This one is okay. It's a nice neutral color, and the rest of it's okay, but I am going to go ahead and keep it. I'm not going to get rid of that. Clinique, I think I'm just going to keep it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch all the blushes that I kept just to make sure I don't have any duplicates of anything, and then I will make sure this is just all I'm getting rid of. Okay, sad news to report. I swatched all of the blushes that I'm keeping. These three right here are from the Hourglass palette. They barely show up, and I have similar ones over here, and I really just don't care for the colors, so I'm gonna get rid of this palette. I would rather have an individual blush that I love than love this one and travel with this whole thing, and then what, when I finish this one, these are gonna go to waste. I would rather just maybe eventually invest the money in the single blush that I love, or find something comparable in one of my singles. So I'm going to get rid of it, which is so sad for me to say, but it's got to go. So this is all that I'm keeping. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 individual blushes, and 3 palettes. I kept my Denmari palette, Hourglass Edit palette, and 1 palette, Z palette that have some depotted blushes. And to be honest, I could probably get rid of this and be perfectly fine. That's just being honest. Like, if this got lost, I would miss Exposed. But I actually, you know what? Actually, I can't find it. But somewhere, I think I have one of the little palettes that these came in. So to be honest, I could probably keep this and get rid of everything else. But I think I'm just gonna keep the Z palette with these blushes in here, and if I don't end up using them, just get rid of them. But I'm for sure keeping Denmari and Surreal Edit palette. And then I do have one other blush in my Rainforest After Dark palette. I think that's the only other blush I have like within another palette. And this Tarte palette has, I don't even know what the blush is called, because I got rid of the little paper. But I love, love, love this blush. And I mentioned in my eye palette Declutter, I would never get rid of this palette simply for that blush. So that is the extent of my blush collection. I told you guys it was getting real, and I have narrowed it down to blushes that I love that do not have duplicates. So this is all the stuff I'm getting rid of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 palettes, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I got rid of more than half of my blush collection. Isn't that crazy? But it feels so good. I'm so excited. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed watching me just go ham on decluttering my blushes. Be on the lookout for some of the higher end things on a blog sale coming up. I may have everything listed, I don't know. Some of it I'll pass on to friends and family, but I hope you guys enjoyed this declutter, massive declutter at that, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!